You know when things just feel right and things are just working for you rather than against you. I'm trying to get back to that. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I've been all up in my feelings lately. I'm not sure if it is because we're at the end of such an unusual and weird year, but I wanted to share my feelings nonetheless. Just to give you some insight, if you are new here, I was a full-time 9-to-5 working mom for the last 2 to 3 years, and at the end of 2019 I decided to leave my full-time job to become a stay-at-home mom. And you can just imagine how that went when the global pandemic hit the entire world, that nothing went according to plan this year. But long story short, this year has been a roller coaster of a ride, but I'm looking forward to a year of healing for 2021. My word for 2020 was growth, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it there. I've actually thought that the word healing would be the perfect theme for the year of 2021. So that's what we're going with.
Beauty lives in me, and now I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty.
This thought came about when I listened to one of Kaylin's Coffee Talks, which is a podcast that I listen to quite frequently, and it just got me thinking, and I wanted to interpret her talk onto my own life and my life as a mom and as a parent, and I wanted to share that with you. So I will leave a link in the description below to my blog and my website, because I'll share that coffee talk in my December newsletter, and if you want to check that out, then you can sign up for that. If you are new on my channel, I hope that you would subscribe and that you would like this video, and remember to turn on that notification button so that you get notified as soon as I release a new video. And as it goes, I need to just put a disclaimer out there that I'm not a professional, and that everything I talk about today and anything I mention in this video is purely from my own experience and of my own opinion. Just to get that out of the way. So let's dive right in. Basically, I've been trying to balance my life at work, at home, as a mom, as a partner. I've been trying to balance all of that for the last 2 to 3 years about. And with trying to balance all of that, I just feel like I've completely drained my more masculine side, or my more dominant side, if you will. If you are not familiar with your more dominant masculine role or your more feminine role, then I just want to make it clear that this has absolutely nothing to do with gender. Your masculine side actually represents your logic and your reason. It's also about taking action and acquiring more material things in your world. And it includes your common sense and your need to survive. But then your feminine side again is your more nurturing side, the side of you that wants to create a sense of calm. It represents your intuition, the more motherly side of you that wants to nurture, and it wants to care, and it wants to heal. This is also your side that is more creative and wants to express and communicate emotions. In my experience and in my opinion, your soul and feeding your soul falls more into that feminine side of you. And if that side of you have been neglected, you will feel emotionally overwhelmed, and you might feel like you're a bit out of balance in the feeling side of things. So how do you start the process of healing your more feminine side and your soul. Personally, I've become very aware of the sense of flow in my life this year, or actually the lack thereof. You know, when things just feel right and things are just working for you rather than against you. I'm trying to get back to that. So the first step I'm taking in trying to get that flow back, trying to give attention to that feminine side, is by planning. And I know what you're going to think. This sounds like the more masculine side, the more logical side. But just hear me out for a second. By planning my day and my week, I'm making a commitment to myself to ensure that, one, I'm not overcommitting myself to the point of exhaustion. Two, I'm taking my life at a reasonable and realistic pace. And three, that I'm balanced in all areas of my life, so that I have YouTube time, I have blogging time, I have family time, I have self-care time, and that we will get into a little bit deeper later as well. By doing this, you allow yourself some grace, you allow yourself some room for error, because we are human, we make mistakes, and you're not putting that much pressure on yourself. So do you see now how this is very much related to that feminine side and nurturing that side of yourself that might have been neglected? And then the second step I'm taking is to make more time for myself. This is where I want to get into the self-care side of things. I am now looking at self-care completely different than what I used to. I do think that this doesn't always need to be an hour or hours of your day or week that you spend on self-care. Sometimes we need to go back to the basics and realize that a little can go a long way. So when I talk about self-care, I'm talking about something like taking 2 minutes right there where you're standing right now. Just take 2 minutes, close your eyes, take a breath, just feel the air go in deeply into your lungs and feel how it comes back up. Feel how your chest rises and falls again. This is a time where you want to pause, you want to take a time out. See your breath as a light. As you are inhaling, that light inside you gets brighter, and as you are exhaling, that light is softly going dimmer. This will help you slow down that crazy world that's going on around you just enough so that you can choose the next moment. We need to start living. We need to start choosing every day, and we need to choose what we are giving our precious energy to. I also see self-care as getting enough sleep, and this is not only the amount of hours you're getting, but also making sure that you are getting quality sleep. I have recently invested in my sleep. I've really struggled with sleep this year. I invested in myself by getting myself some progesterone serum, and you get a lot of different ones out there, but I'm currently using the Young Living Progescence Phyto Plus, and this has improved my quality of sleep so dramatically. Another self-care activity for me is reading, but not just any books. It needs to be books that help you understand yourself better and also helps you empathize with yourself more. These are not your regular self-development books. You need to choose them very carefully. It needs to be a book that energizes you. It shouldn't make you feel as though you need to grow or learn or chase goals. That is not what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to nurture ourselves. We're trying to put back into that feminine side and into your soul. Books that make you feel like you want to grow and learn more are great, and there's a place for them, but that's not what we're trying to do right now. And believe me, you will learn and you will grow, even though you're not putting that pressure on yourself that those books sometimes can create. These books just need to help you create a space for yourself and just to let yourself be as you are right now. I'm again going to be sharing one of these books that I'm currently reading in my newsletter for December, so keep an eye out for that. You need to understand that making time to wash your hair or shave, that is not self-care, that is body maintenance. There's a saying that goes, when you look good, you feel good. And yes, that is true, but how temporary is that feeling? And just in a matter of time, you're gonna end up in the same place chasing that same feeling. And that is not something that is feeding your soul. So let's move on to the third step. And that is to find your creative magic. This is something that you can lose yourself in, something that makes you forget time and forget the place where you are, and you can just express your emotions and your feelings in it. For me, this has been journaling and writing lately, writing down my dreams and my goals and my feelings. And the great thing about creative magic, especially when you are a parent, is that you do not need to be alone to do this. Put your favorite music on, your favorite song, have a dance party, build a fort, make it as simple or as decorative as you want, and have a movie night. Another form of expression that I absolutely love is tattoos. Tattoos, looking at other people's tattoos, they represent what that person was feeling and experiencing at a certain time in their life, and that tells a story. It tells you something about that person. It is important to let your emotions out in some way or form, the good and the bad. By suppressing our emotions, we are creating a black hole inside of ourselves, and if that is left unattended to, it can sometimes feel like that's going to swallow us alive. And then the fourth and final step to pouring some love into that feminine soul side of yourself, this is to find and to spend time with your people, your tribe. You get those people in your life where you can just talk to them until the break of dawn, and it feels almost like time is just slowing down when you're with them, and you can have a simple meaningless discussion, or you can just pour your heart out and they will be there. It can be your sister, it can be your best friend, it can be a work colleague that you've maybe become friends with. It can literally be anyone. As long as you've got that very strong connection with them, then that person will be someone who feeds you and feeds your soul. Allow them to build you up and energize you when you're feeling drained. I also just want to mention here as well that I am a strong believer in that you need to evaluate the people around you every couple of years. People change, and we can start taking each other for granted. If you start to feel like someone you used to be very close to has become very draining to your soul, I do think that you need to check in with them and check what's going on in their life. What are they experiencing? Are they going through something that you may be not aware of? And they actually need to feed off you a little bit. Now, I understand that obviously we can't always just be giving to others, and others can't always be giving to us, but there needs to be some kind of a balance. But you need to recognize when someone is draining you consistently for a long amount of time, and with all your love and support, and over time that is not getting better, it might be time to end that chapter of your relationship. and that's okay. We move on. It doesn't need to be an abrupt or a broken end to your relationship. It just means that you cannot constantly feed them that energy that you already so desperately need. Sometimes you can just let this relationship run its course and let it fade into something that is a little bit less draining on your now healing soul. And with that, I'm going to end today's talk. I hope that you have found some value in our discussion today. And if there was just one thing that stood out for you today in this video, please drop it down in the comments below. I would love to hear your feedback, and by you liking the video and commenting down below, that really helps me know and understand what videos you want to see in the future, and if you would like to do more talks like this. And remember to pause, breathe and choose. It's all up to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
It's gonna take some time.